Hey guys, welcome back to our Gabriel Knight walkthrough. We're on day 5. And Mosley has basically closed the voodoo murders case. And Gabriel is collecting information to try and convince him to reopen it.
Are you okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now what's up?
You got another package this morning. Overnight from Germany.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang and a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble, in case you didn't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it. St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge. I'm glad you called. Did you? Oh, you did. You did. Oh, wait. Slow down. They agree. Really? You think that's them? Well, you're within a wheel. Ogun agree, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Dambala, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom. Okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo? Well, why would the Veve show up there? Uh-huh. Okay. Look, I'll come over as soon as I can, okay? Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay, thanks. See ya.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're gonna step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe, and I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Oh, nothing. I'll be careful. I promise.
Times dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful.
Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunter Ritter's journey to Charleston as a witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunter's meeting with the beautiful slave woman, Tetelo, and of Gunter's tormenting urges for her.
Poor bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunter's investigation into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seems. The second to the last entry describes Gunter's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He'd found a name on one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunter has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate a sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunter has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the coven before they can do him harm.
Ballsy son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal.
Dear Father, I offer these final words as apology for the harm done to our sacred office. The woman I wrote of to Taylor was the witch I sought. I have committed terrible crimes. I loved this witch, then used our sacred family power to free her and aid her in destroying this colony. The talisman is gone. Taylor took it. I can but pray for thy swift recovery of the talisman, and that my punishment in hell will be long and bitter. Thy undeserving son, Gunter.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Could you research rada drums for me?
Rada drums? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers. Assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a rada drum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
I can't think of anything. I've got some things I need to do.
Good luck.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait! Gabriel Knight.
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild. They wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know, quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Gabriel grabs the shed snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied. Gabriel magnifies the shed skin from Magenta Moonbeam snake. The snake scales are hued brown. They don't match the scales from Lake Pontchartrain.
There. Truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it. Do these symbols mean anything to you?
code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
I'm afraid I could never translate this code for an outsider such as yourself, Monsieur Knight.
Could I ask you
Certainly.
Are you sure you can't translate this for me?
As I said, it's a very secret code.
Surely you can see I'm trying to learn as much as I can here. How am I supposed to become an insider if you won't help me?
That's true, I suppose. Perhaps if the Loa were to grant you their approval,
How do I get that?
by using my Ask the Loa machine.
A machine?
Yes. A spirit guided me to it years ago in an antique store, and its guidance has never faltered. I trust it implicitly.
I see.
The spirits often work in mysterious ways, Mr. Knight. If you aren't willing to ask...
No, I'll ask. Let's see here.
Alright, this puzzle is a little tricky. Assuming the levers at the bottom are labeled from 1 to 13, you're going to hit the number 3 lever once, number 5 lever twice, like so. This is number 7, 2 times. Number 8, 2 times. Then number 12, once. Number 11, once. Number 4, once. Number 6, once. And number 1, 2 times. And that's it.
Well done, Mr. Knight. You have earned the Loa's approval.
Truly, it's an honor. Now, about that code.
Let me see. Well, some of it is nonsense, I'm afraid. Whoever...
That's all right. Just tell me what it says.
It starts with a D and J. Then... Okay, this part makes sense. It says, Conclave tonight. Bring... Well, then there's more nonsense. F-W-E-T-K-A-S-H. The last bit might mean cash. Fresh cash? Doesn't make much sense.
That's okay. Thanks. D.J. Conclave K-A-S-H. It's a start.
I'm happy I could help.
Well, I guess I'll be going now.
As you wish. Peace and harmony be yours.
Right.
Okay, I advise you to save your game here. If you don't know what's happening, as soon as you go to the Voodoo Museum, there is a potential you could die. So, we'll just watch.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
So it's a really simple solution. You just reach for that switch and turn it on.
You bastard!
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did. I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see. We were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door the next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Hey, Hartridge, what's the good word? Hartridge? Ah! Oh God, not again.
Did someone just add cornstarch because the plot thickened?
There must be something here about what Hartridge found out about that Veve. Hartridge's notes. This must be about the Veve.
Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, I guess.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
You're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
There's a snake scale in the ashtray. Gabriel finds a snake scale in the ashtray. It's a souvenir from the museum's python. He places the two scales together. The two iridescent scales are a perfect match.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond.
He must be getting bored out there.
I've got some things I need to do.
Good luck.
Knight, hate to tell you this, but you're out of a book. The Voodoo Murders case has been closed.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that. Son of a bitch. I have this. Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? What about them?
They confirm that the pattern for the murders is of African origin.
This is interesting if it's true. But how do you know he had the right pattern?
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810.
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? Or that they are a threat?
Sure, if there is a voodoo cult, they're a threat.
You know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So this is the whole pattern, huh? That's pretty good work, Knight. So that's what Hartridge used, huh? I guess his analysis is on target then. Okay, the murders were committed by a legitimate voodoo cult. You proved your point.
have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales and the coloring is the same. A python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. It definitely suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, Knight. Okay, I'll reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here, Knight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken. Glad I could inspire you. I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. I'll be in touch. Meanwhile, you stay out of trouble. I mean it.
I'll try. Thanks, bud.
Now lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
So once again, once you've gotten to this point, you are automatically going to complete day 5 when you go to the city map. So I'm just going to let this play out. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and if you have some suggestions, please leave me a comment. Cheers.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.